Hello, Nurse Robbie here for the Epilepsy Foundation. Epilepsy. What is it and how does it affect people's lives? Epilepsy is a condition experienced by 1% of the population, which is nearly 250,000 Australians. When most people think of epilepsy, they generally think of seizures. And sure, this is part of it, but it's just one part of the lived experience of having epilepsy. Think about the experience of epilepsy as an iceberg, where you only see about 1/8 of what's really there. Let's take a closer look at that iceberg so we can really answer the question, what is epilepsy? Seizures. Seizures are the most obvious sign of epilepsy. And most people think of those big dramatic seizures that you see in movies and TV shows where someone falls over and convulses. This is one type of seizure, but there are actually over 60 different types of seizures. Some severe and some so mild they can be mistaken for daydreaming. Memory. Sometimes a person's epilepsy or the medication they take to prevent seizures can impact their ability to concentrate and remember new information. This isn't everybody's experience, but for those whose memory is affected, it can be really frustrating and challenging, especially if that person is at school or university. Stigma. There is still a lot of misunderstanding and misinformation about epilepsy, especially around seizures. Many people with epilepsy feel nervous to reveal their condition or to talk about it for fear of judgment. The best way to combat stigma is just to learn as much as you can and never assume something about somebody's experience or what they can and can't do. Let them tell you. Tiredness and fatigue. For people living with epilepsy, there are a few different factors that can lead to fatigue. Seizures and the electrical activity in the brain, as well as some medications that prevent seizures, can cause tiredness. As a result, some people with epilepsy will need to be more mindful than others about getting enough sleep. Medication. Anti-epileptic medication is the first-line treatment for epilepsy, and around 70% of people will gain good control over their seizures with medication. This means many people with epilepsy can work, study, drive, and lead a pretty typical life. As with any medication though, there can be side effects, and so the lived experience for epilepsy for some people can involve dealing with these side effects like tiredness, fatigue, shaky hands, and weight gain. Self-esteem. Having epilepsy can impact a person's self-esteem. Seizures are random and uncontrollable, which can make someone feel really out of control and self-conscious, especially if they don't know how the people around them will react. One way that you can help with this is to not react with any judgment if someone has a seizure around you. Make sure they're okay, get some help, and then don't treat that person as if they're different or delicate. Mental health issues. People with epilepsy often experience higher rates of depression and anxiety than the general population, but this is true for anybody with any chronic illness. There are a few reasons for this, but one is the challenge of dealing with stigma and social restrictions. While things have definitely improved, we still have a long way to go before the world fully accommodates people with serious health issues. Keep that in mind when you engage with the world around you. How friendly is it to people with a lived experience of chronic illness or disability? As with every chronic condition, everybody has an individual experience. Understanding the iceberg of epilepsy will help you understand the condition in general, but always know that the person living with epilepsy is the expert. They might experience some of these things, all of them, and to different degrees, but let them tell you about their experience and what they can and can't do, and listen without judgment. For more information on epilepsy, there are so many great resources available online, including first aid for anybody having a seizure. These are available through the Epilepsy Foundation's website, and have also been shared on nurserobbie.com thanks to the Epilepsy Foundation. Thanks for watching, and remember something I always tell people, there is no healthcare without self-care.